Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Matt and welcome back to NFT Kings. And today's video, we're going to be talking about exactly what Decentraland has been up to, including some things I've been noticing from the trading pattern. So if you guys are new, make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more daily mana videos, and let's get right into it. So if you guys have not already seen what we are working with here on the day, we're down around 2% here, which again is definitely nothing tragic, staying right around $4.46. Now, what's amazing about this price and what I'll get into a little bit later on in this video is essentially how consistent it has really been, and we'll get into that a little bit later on. In terms of market cap, we are at around $8 billion, which again is still incredible and nothing to complain about in any way, shape, or form. And on our list here, of course, you guys know we are above Axie Infinity here. We are right below a couple of pretty big ones here that we definitely could overtake with another bullish movement. So definitely not concerned about working our way up here on the list. In terms of volume here, we are up 19% or so on the day here at around $2 billion or so in volume, which again is still a lot, guys. That is still an awful lot. That's a lot more volume than was going on months ago. If we scroll back, you guys can just see how small the daily trading volume actually used to be before all this metaverse stuff and whatnot. So you guys can see the trading volume was extremely small. And to be honest with you, I don't think we'll ever be hitting lows like that ever again. So definitely, going to be staying here in the few billions, each day in terms of volume. And that definitely is always good. But remember, it's not always good to have an extremely high volume day every day. Sometimes there does need to be a bit of a cool off period for, things to kind of get themselves together after a lot of buying and selling at once. So when we move on to our graph, guys, there is a lot here to unpack. But before we do, make sure to check out Webull, folks. Top of the link down below in the description. If you guys want to get started trading stocks and crypto, you guys can do both with Webull. And of course, if you guys use my link, you could potentially get a free share of Apple. So if you guys want to do that, it is the top of the link down below in the description. Or if you don't get Apple, it will be another free stock or crypto or whatnot for using my link. But for a limited time here, Webull is giving away some shares of Apple, so definitely check it out. Link down below in the description. All right, guys. So in terms of what we have to work with here, what I really love about this graph from pretty much start to finish here is the fact that there is a consistent line of support that is shown all the way from the 26th up until now. And that line of support is right around 430, 430, 440. You could nitpick and be a little bit more specific if you wanted to, but somewhere around 430, 440 is really the line of support that has been continually reestablished since the 26th. And why is this good? Because over time, these lines of support get very tough to maintain, and it has maintained it for a solid week or so here. I mean, really, this is excellent stuff because you guys can see, of course, we have our triple bottom here, 1, 2, 3, which leads to our breakout. And unfortunately, that does not continue to break out and continue to go higher. Unfortunately, that ends up being stopped right around the 15 mark or so, and we end up heading down, and that's always fine. But what is important to note here is that right again as we reapproach that line of 430 or so, right as we reapproach that, you guys can see we are having a reversal. So right now, as that line is reapproached, we are starting to work our way back up once again, and this is just excellent because as you guys can see, working our way back up like this and getting back into the mid to high fours is a great way to come back from being on a lower position for the day, being somewhat lower on the day. This is a great way to work our way back up, and we can do this without experiencing extreme volatility. We can easily work our way back into the mid fours without having any issues. And I know this because when I check the relative strength index, you guys can see that because it has hit the line of support here so many times, it is considering the norm, it is considering the sort of middle, for buy and sell volume to be a little bit higher up. So, you could have Mana hit 430 and still be within the realm of the relative strength index, but you could also have Mana hit 460, 470 on the day and not really have a lot of issues because it will still be within the realm of what the relative strength index is considering to be normal. Now, if Mana was supporting at a much lower spot. Let's say Mana was coming down to 380, let's say 380 was the line of support for Mana. If that was the case and we were, consistently bouncing back off of the 380 line every time, if this was the case, by the time we got back up to 4.6 or 4.7, we would be way exceeded what the relative strength index considers to be normal. We would be way above what is considered okay for buy and sell volume on the day. We would be way above that, and we definitely couldn't sustain that. So right now, again, the fact that we have sort of come down to this line of support, 1, 2, 3, 4, you basically say this entire region 5-ish times. The fact that we've basically relied on this line of support for so long is amazing, and it hasn't, seems to have, wavered in any way, and that's excellent. So definitely good to note. And of course, another thing that is good to note is the fact that, yes, when we really expand things here and take a look at this movement all the way from late November up until now, you could very well say that this is a falling wedge. And you guys can see it's pretty easy to, sort of chart out here. This really does look like a falling wedge. Again, it's not quite as beautiful as the ones you might see on Google or whatnot, but, it definitely does still look like the possibility of a falling wedge movement. Or if you wanted to be nitpicky, you could say, oh, well, actually, it's a symmetrical wedge. They're both bullish. They're kind of the same thing. But, you could also say this is a symmetrical wedge if you wanted to as well. So the fact that it does make those two bullish wedges in these two instances is very, very good. Now, when we check the Fibonacci retracement, of course, you guys can see we are essentially going to be given from the top and the bottom of the most recent run here. So we have the top here right around 482 and the bottom here right around 420. And essentially what it is showing us is that the 23.6% line here has been established as a good line of support. And that is good because the very bottom here was kind of a flash crash down to 420. That is a little bit lower than where I had anticipated Mana supporting at. So you guys can see that 23.6% line looks to be the spot, and if it could just very well just bounce, over the next couple of days like this, it could very well just bounce over the fib lines and maybe use them to work its way up and work its way down. It is very possible we could just see something like this going on over the next few days. But, to me, as long as this 23.6% line is made and that we are able to recover from this quick little flash crash down to 420, as long as we are able to recover upwards, which it looks like we have been, that is always, always good. So with that being said, guys, I hope you all have enjoyed the video. Make sure to let me know down below in the comments, guys, whether or not you agree with my price predictions, you agree with where I am setting up supports for Decentraland. Definitely let me know, guys, down below in the comments, and make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more daily Mana videos. I know this is the NFT channel, but you guys seem to be so interested in Decentraland, and Decentraland really does house some of the best NFTs out there. So I figured it'd be worth talking about on the channel. So with that being said, everybody, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate all the amazing support as always. My name is Matt. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.